All right, here's some quick tips on how to use my mud pies. Boom. Put some notes. It's just some trappy beat I made. All right, so this is the fun part. This is kind of the basis of how I use the mud pies. Let me just scoot to the left real quick over here. We can put the playhead anywhere. And so, yeah. So what we'll do, we'll macro the start time. And since there's nothing playing here, we'll make this shorter. Now, oh, I like that. I like that hit. Cool. So now let's duplicate it, put a different bass pie in there. And then for this one, we'll use over here. No. So then what I would do is now go through and screw around with the start times. Now, since it's on one shot mode, what I can even do, it doesn't really matter what the grid is. I can just kind of click like this and find different start times. Rest of the automation won't affect the rest of the play. Now this one's kind of weak, so let's figure out something here. So we'll go to pitch, of course, and then we'll just give it a little kick, kind of pitch down. And you can go to different spots. Okay, so that's one way to use the mud pie, right? The other way is to make more of a, let's say we wanted this hit to be a little bit more like looped out. We'll just copy this over. So we hit loop, and then we can basically make like kind of a new patch out of the mud pie. And you just have, that's what's so cool, is you have so many different textures and, you know, snippets to be able to find different textures. And then here, it is important what you do with the amount of MIDI information to automation, because it's going to be looping, and you can actually, as you can see here, you can change sample even after it hits, even after it starts playing. And that's a sound too. Now, here's one thing to notice, since it's such a long file, the range this is just too much range. So what I'm going to go ahead and do for you, but what you want to make note of right now, is I'm going to macro this, right? To macro 2. And what you want to do is you want to hit map, and then you want to give that length like the smallest. Let's go like to 1%, see what that does for us. So the most it'll be like 1%, and that's still a pretty good sized chunk to loop. And let's delete this real quick so we can see what we're doing. Now I've noticed with the looping thing, this especially sounds cool when you have a moment where the bass isn't very constant and there's like a little bit of dead space in it. So for example, let's see. Yeah, right, like that. Yeah, that's sick right there. And then, yeah, so it's a really good way to just jumpstart creativity. And now we can do all of our crazy filtering, reverb, all sorts of automation that comes to mind. And so this is a cool little cell right here that this is what I would do is I would just repeat this over and over and over again, and then slightly make variations over time. Now here we can try for a different spot. Ooh, that's kind of like volumey. Voltrum. God, I cannot not say Voltrum, but whatever. And then here I would make like a different hit. And then what's really fun too, just if you want to try out a different Mudpie, just duplicate, get rid of the rest, and then try something else new right here. Like we'll just drag in another one, see what happens. And then play around with the start again. So what I will add is you're not always going to be able to make like a cool bass line all the time. So I would recommend making your bass line with an actual patch. And then I would go towards this style of production when you are trying to fill a space around a distinct bass line. But yeah, you get the point. You don't always have to use bass patches. Obviously you can use grind like vocals, or even the chimes would be cool with the more. That's kind of cool. And let's say you have an actual patch that you want to make a bass line. So how would you add the Mudpies around a main patch? And again, I want to emphasize that it is still super beneficial to still make like a bass line with a patch. But like I said, you can take these Mudpies and kind of layer and complement your bass line. So let's say we did. Let's find a different patch I've made. Oh yeah, Colossus. I forgot about this one. This one's cool. I use this on Colossus. What? So yeah, you can play around with different moments now. But you can see, yeah, the Mudpies I've found are really good for interjecting, layering, and what I mean by layering, this is what I mean by layering. So let's go back to our Mudpies. A lot of times I like just using the audio because the manipulation I can use warping in here, but we can find little moments where they layer really nicely. Like that's a good example. And it goes up one note. And then here maybe we'll do, if you hold Command, Alt, and Shift, you can sort by, you can move through the sample without the grid. If you do without Alt, it's on the grid. So let's see. But I hate having to press down keys, so the other way you can do it obviously is you put loop on. That's kind of cool. And let's say we wanted to layer over that too with the mud pie. We could do like something like that. Yeah, so hopefully that helps you on your mud pie journey today or within the week. Thank you for subscribing to my Patreon, and y'all have a good one. Ciao.